Okay, so this is my Doctor Who BBC collection. So when I first started picking these up, we got 8 Doctors, which is the first one I picked up. And then I decided, because I wasn't massively a fan of the Eighth Doctor at that point in time, I left them. So until we got to the Taint, when I decided that you're an idiot, why are you missing out on these Doctor Who books? You need to start picking them up. Because at that kind of point in time, all I was picking up was 6th Doctor books and 7th Doctor books. So all of the original Doctor stuff was also being missed. So once we got to the Taint, we had a monthly kind of subscription with my local bookshop, who gave me one of each of the books. And then over the course of time, I've managed to read from the Taint all the way up to here, Dark Progeny. And then when I got to there, I decided, instead of doing that, why don't we go back to today's book, which is Vampire Science. So that's the very first book after the 8 Doctors. So I've basically been filling in all the gaps from the Taint backwards. We've got some here that are actually apparently from the BBC production office, which is quite nice. So obviously today we are going to be talking about Vampire Science. So let's get going at that. So this is Vampire Science. This is one I've just finished. And again, I'll probably do reviews of these if this one does okay. And as I make our way through the books to the all the way through to at least the Taint, and maybe even if we reread those, maybe we will do some more. So this started off effectively as a Grace Holloway story from the TV movie, and the 8th Doctor, and obviously Sam, which was introduced in the 8th Doctor's book. But because of the rights for the TV movie, the character was changed. So there's effectively a preview in this. It's set in 1977, where the Doctor and a character called Carolyn, and Sam basically track down the vampire, and the vampire effectively, it seems to kill itself. And then it snaps forward to 1997 in San Francisco, which again is set in the TV movie. So presumably the earlier thing would have been removed if we were using Grace instead, and we just had returning back to San Francisco with the 8th Doctor. It's quite interesting that the character of Sam in this is very with it, as it were. She's like a different version of Ace, effectively. She's signed up to the right groups to protest against all this kind of stuff. But this was the late 90s. This was 97, I believe. So it kind of swampy, and all the protesters was kind of the 90s as well. And there's a bit in here apparently where Sam is left at a rally for 3 days, and apparently the Doctor effectively goes on traveling on his own for 3 years during that time, those 3 days. And if continuity would say that's where the Dying Days from Virgin Books takes place during those 3 years. So that's quite interesting. And there's a character in here called, oh my God, what's her name? The General from Unit. I forgot what her name is now. You know what I'm like with names. I believe she herself is from a fan film. Someone made a fan film of the 7th Doctor and this time wormhole thingy, and this character, this General from Unit, says she's already interacted with the 7th Doctor, and mentions that as well. So this is obviously something that's kind of been plopped in here as a subplot, that's not from a TV series, which is quite interesting because this character kind of again gives a perspective of 2 different Doctors. The 8th Doctor in here is kind of a bit, not exactly a blank slate, but because we obviously only had the TV movie, it was kind of a bit weird that we didn't have, there's not a lot of background, so it kind of slowed a bit up. And the 8th Doctor has effectively grown to be one of my favourite Doctors, through the audios and through the books especially. But yeah, so effectively they're here to track down a vampire clan. We get references to Vampire the Masquerade and all this kind of stuff, which is quite weird. And
it kind of goes badly. The Doctor tries and comes up with a solution that effectively stops them from killing people and giving them another food source. But some of the other younger vampires revolt because they want to carry on. But all in all, it's not a bad book. I don't really like vampires in Doctor Who because I think they're a bit too supernatural. I know we've got an explanation for them in other stories, but I've never been massively sure of that. About it's kind of, and I know I think there's some Virgin books. I don't know if it's Goth Opera or other books because I've not read all those yet. There's got like effectively like bow ships, which are like just giant crossbows with stakes in them to kill these great vampires. I don't know if that's to kill actually like super like Galactus style vampires or whatever. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I was kind of a bit skeptical about it, but it actually didn't turn out to be too bad a book. But I do definitely prefer the Doctor when he's fighting more traditional science fiction based bad guys. Now the interesting one is we've got the President of the United States, still the President of the United States on the front cover with a vampire over it. No idea what that's on there. There's nothing to do with the President in this at all. It's really, really weird. Because I went to about halfway through, I looked at the book and thought, oh, okay, that's interesting. When's that going to kick in? Doesn't appear. Very, very odd. So I don't quite know why they made that their cover. But unless they were just trying to show it as American. But I mean, you could have done the American flag. That would make more sense. But there you go. But yeah, all in all, not a bad book. I think I give it maybe like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 probably if I was going to rate it that way. Later books I prefer much more. We'll come to those probably if we continue with this, which would be, of course, the Interference 2-part books, which are absolutely spectacular, and some of the later novels as well. And the Companion of Sam, she's okay, but she's a bit too acy, and I definitely prefer Fritz Kriener as he comes up. He's probably my favourite companion out of the 8th Doctor era, so there you go. But yeah, all in all, say when we get to the next book, which is Body Snatchers, I'll probably do another one of these. But yeah, if you've read this or you're interested in hearing more about the Doctor Who books, please let me know. And hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Bye-bye.